What's up, Madden community? MT Squared back with another Madden 23 Ultimate Team video. Today is the Saturday of the Blitz weekend, and lots of teams have gotten nice upgrades with the Blitz promo and now with Legends this weekend. So I'm going to go over my top 5 theme teams post-Blitz promo. If you do enjoy this video or find it helpful, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can see my daily videos. Likes and comments really help the algorithm of this video get out to more viewers. So comment what you think of this top 5, who you think I left out, or anything. Comment your favorite pizza and I'll judge you off of that. All right, so I will be showing you a lineup for each of these 5 teams with flex options, which at this point in the game, you can have up to 6 flex spots if you have the Team Diamonds card of that team, or some people call them cheats or flexes. But you can also have up to 3 additional cards in the specialist area that are not in your lineup. I will not be doing those, so just keep in mind that you can add 3 additional cards, so safeties or linebackers in that sub-linebacker spot, outside linebackers or defensive linemen in the pass rush area, and corners in the slot corner. Last time I did this top 5 video was on October 8th, so that was about 6 weeks ago. Our top 5 at that time from 5th was Chiefs, 4th was the Patriots, 3rd was the Rams, Jets was number 2, and our top theme team at that time, at no surprise, was the Raiders. So let's see how the top 5 theme teams mixed up since then. First, I'm going to start off with an honorable mention though, and this is actually the theme team that I decided to switch to post Blitz because of the defense. It is just so insane. I wish that the offense had at least one more offensive lineman to use so that I didn't have to waste all the flexes on there, or if there was a fullback that got Cardinals team chemistry, that would be amazing as well. The only fullback that we can use is Larry Zonka, or if there was a good receiver on this team. So Larry Fitzgerald and Michael Crabtree are the best receivers in the game that get Cardinals chemistry. So all of our flexes had to be used on 4 offensive linemen, and then the Randy Moss at wide receiver. But we've also got CJ2K at running back, a plethora of running backs actually. CJ2K, Emmett Smith, and Edgerrin James, aka Edge. But having Todd Heap at tight end is really clutch in my opinion as well. And then obviously we're using John Elway. He's the best quarterback in the game. Gets any team chemistry. If you don't have Elway, you can use Kyler Murray. And then on the defensive side of the ball, we literally don't need to use a single flex option on the defense. I will be adding a couple cards in the specialist area to get an extra sub linebacker in, and some really good pass rushers as well. So we've got Tyrann Mathieu, free safety, 92 overall. Adrian Wilson, 6'3" at strong safety. Cornerbacks, we've got Deion Sanders, Night Train Lane, Patrick Peterson, and Aeneas Williams. So I have 4 awesome corners. All 4 of them will see the field at all times. I'm going to put Aeneas Williams in that strong safety position. I run mostly man, so the guys who are in my safety spots are usually going to be in curl flats or hard flats. Probably around 20 to 25 yards, depending on what type of plays my opponent does. If he does all drags and zig routes, then I'm going to put him in 5 yards to try to block that stuff. But we've got Isaiah Simmons and Jordan Hicks at middle linebacker. Isaiah Simmons will see the field. I'm going to actually user him with the lurker ability for only 1 ability point. And then we've got Dwight Freeney, Darnell Dockett, and Channel Jones on the defensive line. All right, so getting into number 5, we have the Los Angeles Rams. So we are going to have to spend all 5 flex options out of our 6 on the offensive line, which is a big reason why they are only at number 5, because you have to waste so many flex spots on the offensive line. So we've got Joe Thomas, Al Faneca, Jeff Saturday, Zach Martin, and Willie Anderson. These are simply just the best cards at their position. You don't have to use these. These are just what I put in there. So if you have unlimited coins, you want to use these cards. If you don't, then just get some 91s or 92s. Those are mostly pretty reasonably priced, except for that Willie Anderson 92 overall right tackle. He's going for like 800K still because he's still the best right tackle in the game. For tight end, we don't really have a really good tight end besides the Dave Casper. You have Tyler Higbee. So if you do not have Dave Casper, then my recommendation would probably to use Rob Havenstein as your right tackle. And not waste the flex option there, and then use a flex option on a tight end. There's a bunch of really good tight ends If you're looking for a budget one, Kyle Pitts is probably the best option. He goes for like 240K. If he's not on the block for 240K, just go out and buy 3 of those 90 overall most feared cards and do his set. They go for like 75 to 80,000 coins right now. And then we've also got another flex spot on a wide receiver for Randy Moss, because there's only really 2 usable wide receivers with Cooper Kupp and Dante Hall. And Dante Hall at this point in the game is kind of questionable even. And then we're going to use John Elway as our quarterback. If you don't got John Elway, you got Burt Jones as your quarterback option. We've got Eric Dickerson, who's only a 91 overall card, but that card is still really good. I was running a Rams team and using Dickerson up until about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and that Eric Dickerson card is still really good. Looking at our defense here, so you're going to want to upgrade that Taylor Rapp position, the free safety, with a sub linebacker spot, a safety, and put him in there. Or we've got 4 usable corners with Deion Sanders, Nitrate Lane, Aeneas Williams, and Jalen Ramsey. So you can put one of them in that free safety spot if you want. We've got Nolan Cromwell at strong safety. And then we've also got 4 linebackers, really good linebackers here. We've got Clay Matthews, London Fletcher, Bobby Wagner's the free card that you get in the field pass, I think at level 41 maybe. And then Leonard Floyd at left outside linebacker. We've got Aaron Donald, Merlin Olsen, and Kevin Carter. So the defensive pass rushers on this team are insane. So I had, when I was running this team, I was using Aaron Donald and Merlin Olsen in the middle with Clay Matthews and Leonard Floyd as my outside edge rushers. And it was just insane, nonstop pressure. I also had Richard Seymour as an extra spot in my specialist area for a defensive tackle, because he gets defensive rally for 0 ability points. So I would sub him in on 3rd and 4th down and usually take out Merlin Olsen or try to filter them in so that they all got their pass rush points. But all 4 of those guys, Donald, Olsen, Leonard Floyd, and Clay Matthews, they all get the double or nothing ability for only 1 ability point, which is super clutch in my opinion. Looking at number 4, we have the Dallas Cowboys. So offensive line here, kind of sucks that there's only 1 right guard or 1 Cowboy that gets right guard as a chemistry. Forrest Gregg at right tackle does get right guard as a secondary chemistry, so you can put him in as your backup right guard and move up La'el Collins if you want, and then sub in Forrest Gregg. Into the right tackle position in each of your formations. If you want to go that route, you can definitely do that. That will give you an extra flex option since you'll get to be adding a Cowboys chemistry. But for the purpose of this video, I did not do that because I don't expect everybody to go out and do that. 4 tight ends, we've got Jason Witten, Dave Casper, and Mike Ditka, Iron Mike. 4 tight ends, so we've got 3 really good tight ends. 4 wide receivers. So if they had 1 more receiver in that 92 to 93 range, they probably would be higher than number 4. But we've got Michael Irvin, playmaker, as our wide receiver 1. Harold Carmichael, 6'8" at wide receiver 2, and CeeDee Lamb at wide receiver 3. John Elway is our quarterback. If you don't have him, you can use Bernie Kosar. And then we've got really good running backs with Tony Pollard and Emmitt Smith. We're going to use our team captain on Larry Zonka. For the defense, so I put in Minka Fitzpatrick at free safety. I think he's the best free safety in the game, in my opinion, because of the fact that he's 6'2" and he gets deep zone KO ability for only 1 ability point. The other top free safety in the game would be Brian Dawkins, but he's 6 foot tall, doesn't really get any great abilities in my opinion. So you got him, and then you've also got Malik Hooker, who is a really good 90 overall if you did get him from the competitive field pass about a month ago, I think he was. For strong safety, we've got the new Darren Woodson, 94 overall strong safety in the game. For corners, we've got Deion Sanders, Chidobe Awuzie, and Trayvon Diggs for corners. That Trayvon Diggs was the MCS card. You had to watch the MCS championship for the Thanksgiving special and get at least 3 tokens in order to get that Trayvon Diggs card. If you didn't get him then you can't get him now, unfortunately. So for our linebackers, we've got the new Randy Gregory Blitz card, which is really good. You've got Ken Norton, Micah Parsons. So Micah Parsons is not a middle linebacker, but he does get middle linebacker as a secondary position. And there's only 3 middle linebackers in the game for the Cowboys that get their chemistry. So you're going to want to put that on Micah Parsons so that you can have that extra flex spot. Plus, we've got Anthony Barr, left outside linebacker anyway. For defensive line, we've got Dorrance Armstrong, Malik Collins, and Ed Too Tall Jones. Coming in at number 3, we have the Baltimore Ravens. So I thought that they would actually be number 1 or 2 because of the fact that they have so many usable offensive linemen. So we get to spend our flex options elsewhere. So we've got Jonathan Ogden at left tackle, Alan Faneca at left guard, the only flex option you need to use on the offensive line. We've got Tyler Linderbaum, Kevin Zeitler, and Willie Anderson finishing out the offensive line. We've got Darren Waller, Todd Heap, and Dave Casper at tight end. So definitely the best trio of tight ends, I think, for this Ravens team. Then at wide receiver, we've got Steve Smith, Devin Hester, and Mike Wallace as our wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. We've got Jacoby Jones, who's a 92 overall at wide receiver 4, which is pretty insane. Definitely one of the reasons why this team is a top theme team, in my opinion. We're going to use John Elway at quarterback. If you don't have him, then you can use RG3. We've got Barry Sanders as a flex option at running back because the best option at running back for the Ravens is still Ricky Williams, that 90 overall card. For our defense here, we've got a really good defense, especially in the secondary. So we've got Ed Reed and Kyle Hamilton at free safety and strong safety. We've also got Deshaun Elliott, who is a now, I don't think he's been upgraded yet to a 92 overall. I think he's still a 90. He was at one of those Thanksgiving cards that get upgraded with so many tackles, and I think if they had at least one sack or something like that. But he should get updated to a 92 at some point next week. For linebackers, we are going to use Lawrence Taylor as a flex option to get a really good pass rusher in the game. We've got Ray Lewis, Mosley, and Paul Kruger finishing out our linebackers. And then our defensive line, we're going to add in a couple more flex options here because we need to get Aaron Donald and Howie Long, the caveman, in as pass rushers. We've got Sam Adams and the Goose for defensive tackles. And then for corners, we've got Deion Sanders, Samari Roll, and then Night Train Lane. I threw him in here as a flex option. So because of the fact that we don't have to spend so many flex options on the offensive line, that really frees us up to be able to add in players like Lawrence Taylor, Aaron Donald, Howie Long, Night Train Lane. We're using 4 flex options on the defense because of the fact that we don't have to use them on the defensive line, which is pretty sweet. Coming in at number 2, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. So Raiders is another team that probably would have been higher at number 1 if they had any usable offensive linemen. So I kept in Trey Smith in here at right guard so that we could at least have another flex option somewhere on the defense. So we've got 4 flex options on the offensive line with Joe Thomas, Faneca, Saturday, and Willie Anderson. For our tight ends, we've got Darren Waller, Jason Witten, and Dave Casper. Definitely another really good trio of tight ends. For wide receivers, we've got Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, and Devontae Adams as our wide receivers 1, 2, and 3. We've got the new Marcus Allen in at running back, 94 overall. We've got Elway at quarterback. If you don't have him, you can use Culpepper. We're going to use our team captain on Larry Zonka. For our defense here, so the defense, the fact that we have actually 6 cornerbacks in the game that are usable. So we've got Deion Sanders, Mike Haynes, Casey Hayward, Tracy Porter, D'Angelo Hall, and Charles Woodson, who gets free safety as a secondary position. And I wanted to get him in the game, so I threw him in at free safety. We've got Isaiah Polomeo, 91 overall strong safety. When Rod Woodson eventually gets an upgrade, maybe in zero chill or later in the game, this secondary will be even better. I threw in Lawrence Taylor to get a really good pass rusher along with Aaron Donald. And then for the rest of the linebackers, we got here Derek Johnson, Kenny Young, and Ted Hendricks. Ted Hendricks will eventually get an upgrade also, which will be good, hopefully in the Zero Chill promo. Then I've got Richard Seymour and Howie Long in at defensive tackle and left end. I do have Sam Adams in here as defensive tackle too, but we already used the team captain, so just bump up Solomon Thomas and Warren Sapp and throw in an extra gold or something like that at your DT4. But Richard Seymour, I mentioned earlier, is key because he gets defensive rally for 0 ability points. So I'm thinking this type of setup would probably have Richard Seymour and probably Howie Long on the interior if you run a 4 defensive line setup, and Aaron Donald and Lawrence Taylor on the edge. Howie Long also gets inside stuff for only 1 ability point if you have him upgraded all the way with his, I think, 90 or 89 overall AKA card and his 84, 85, whatever it is. And coming in at number 1, we have the Washington Commanders. So Commanders are real nice because you only have to spend 1 flex option on left guard. We have a really good team here. So we've got Trent Williams at left tackle, 92 overall, Grimm, 91 overall center, Sheriff, 90 overall right guard, and Tom Compton, 89 overall right tackle. He does get edge protector for 2 ability points, so definitely would recommend putting that on him, considering he's only an 89 overall, and there's lots of really good pass rushers in the game. Dave Casper's our only really good option over at tight end. For our quarterback position, we do have John Elway in here, but if you don't have him, we have RG3, 93 overall quarterback. We're going to spend our team captain on Larry Zonka. We've also got Barry Sanders as a flex option at running back, 93 overall. And then we've got Art Monk, Randy Moss, and Steve Smith. So spent Moss and Smith for flex options. So because of the fact that we don't have to spend a lot of flex options on the offensive line, we're able to get Randy Moss and Steve Smith in the game in here with Art Monk. For our defense here, so we're going to spend our last 2 flex options here on a free safety and strong safety upgrade, the 2 best safeties in the game, in my opinion, with Minka and Jeremy Chin. We've got Thomas Davis, Lyndon Fletcher, Van Der Esch, and Carl Banks over our linebackers. The 4 of them are really not going to see the field that much, but we have a really good secondary here. 5 awesome cornerbacks with Deion Sanders, Kendall Fuller, Benjamin St. Juste, Tracy Porter, and D'Angelo Hall. So I definitely would recommend trying to get in Tracy Porter and D'Angelo Hall in the game. Your cornerbacks 4 and 5, probably into those safety positions. Throw in Minka and Jeremy Chin as your sub linebackers. So those will pretty much be your 7 defensive backs when you're playing. And then we've got Montez Sweat and Jason Taylor, 2 really good defensive linemen in there. Defensive tackles, not that great with Matthew Ioannidis and Jonathan Allen, but you can throw in some extra, pass rushers or defensive tackles into your specialist area so that you can get a better pass rush out of those guys. So that's it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think of this top 5 and who I left out. So from the last time I did this video, the only 2 repeat teams were the Rams and the Raiders, so not too surprising there. But if you did enjoy this video or found it helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel so you can see my daily videos. And thank you for watching this video.